When you look at his time, his 2 years in charge of Manchester United, where do they go and when do they do it?
Well, there's not been enough progress, Rebecca, for me. There's not enough positive signs. The last week against Palace, the football wasn't good enough, and I expect that, but the fight wasn't there. At least there was a little bit more of that today. Well, give him a bit of credit, changed the shape. 3 in midfield did slow Arsenal down a bit. I think the boys in England were talking about the possession, but you can't remember a really great chance at Arsenal, despite the possession. And Erik Ten Hag has got his work cut out. Sometimes I look at him, Rebecca, and I wonder, what are his messages getting across to the players? Is he firing them up? Is he getting them going from the side of the pitch? Does he make decisions and changes on the field that affect the way that the match is going? I don't see enough of that to give me hope that this is the right guy to take United where they want to be. I almost felt today like both teams settled for 1-0. Arsenal were cautious and didn't want to give anything away. Manchester United was almost like, well, it's not as bad as 4, is it, against Palace? And 1-0's not a bad result against this team.
They certainly do have a long list of injuries, Tim. He says they are always this team fighting. They are always this team in the right spirit. And maybe once every 3 months, the attitude is not right. Your reaction to that?
Well, they've won 1 Premier League game in the last 8. And the one win, they had to come from behind twice against Sheffield United. So I would suggest that the attitude isn't always right. We can put injuries to the side. But what that actually does for me is last week against Palace, when they didn't turn up, the injuries were the same as they were today. Today, I thought they turned up. I thought they put in a performance. So really, it's not about the injuries. It's about whether the team is prepared week in and week out to put in those performances. And we've seen that they aren't. And so I think, look, ultimately that comes down to the manager and your senior players, but there's a collective there that isn't here. You talked about positivity and it not being around the club. It's not.
Robbie, before this game, Ten Hag in his press conference said, if you know anything about football, you'll understand why we're in this situation because of the injuries. And he said there in that interview, the fans are with me, the fans are with us, they understand the situation. Do you think that's right?
Fans are with the team, Rebecca, because Manchester United fans, we've known over the years, will support their team through thick and thin. There's a reality at Manchester United that's missing at the moment. The top 2 teams, Arsenal and Manchester City, are playing another level to Manchester United. Unfortunately for Manchester United, there's teams like Aston Villa and Tottenham who are playing another level than Manchester United. The reality is today that they weren't happy to lose 1-0, but there was a contentment at 1-0 that, you know, we're against Arsenal and we've not been beaten 4 or 5. And that is not the standard of Manchester United Football Club. I don't care who's in charge. I don't care what mentality. I don't care who's injured. That is not the mentality at Manchester United Football Club.
So whoever comes in, if they do change their manager, Tim, Robbie's right. To stand there and even be able to ask a question of a manager that says, no United manager will be happy, but you must be kind of happy. It's better than losing 4-0. That is, to see how far that they have fallen is terrifying if you're a Manchester United fan. So if a new manager does come in, it's not just about the recruitment, is it? It's about fixing this mentality and getting United back to the team that never in a million years the manager would have to have dealt with that question.
Correct. That's right. And you asked a question about Spurs versus City. And the Spurs fans are so happy with Postecoglou, the way their team are playing. They're so happy that the results are going for them and that they perform, not as of late, but the performances, and they have really good players. That's exactly what Manchester United wants. Do they want to be winning the league? Yes. Do they want a chance to have an opportunity to be in the top 4 every single year and compete for titles? Yes. But more than anything, they don't want to have to pay for a ticket every Saturday and turn up and wonder if their team is going to turn up or if they're going to put a performance in or how they're going to win. The thing about Manchester United is they've always known, particularly under Sir Alex Ferguson, how they were going to win. They had no divine right to win, but the fabric was there and they understood what it was. This team doesn't have it.
So if you're looking for a manager to come in, and if they do fire Ten Hag, if you're looking for a manager to come in and do a Postecoglou and turn around the feel of the club, you've got your Tuchel, you've got Southgate, you've got Potter, you've got even people talking about Mauricio Pochettino. Give me a name of somebody you think who could do what Postecoglou's done at Tottenham.
Well, Pochettino could, I think, because what we're talking about, Rebecca, here is culture. We're talking about culture at your football club. It's what Jurgen Klopp brought back at Liverpool. It's what Pep's brought to Manchester City. It's what Postecoglou's seeming to do in a short space of time. So what Oliver Glasner's done in 3 months at Crystal Palace, it's the culture of your football club. It's how you play. It's how you turn up. It's how you win, lose or draw sometimes, but trying to do the right things the right way. And the culture at Manchester United Football Club is not right at the moment. You've got a player who's playing for Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League final who's fell out with the manager. That player could have been a difference maker between you being in Europe or not. Find a way to keep him at your football club. Find a way to get him on side. Manage this player, and all of a sudden things might look a bit different.
Yeah, and Tim, you know the culture at your old club better than anybody. Do you think a Pochettino could turn the culture back to what it was?
I do, and here's why, because exactly what you said. A collective buy-in creates culture. We see that at the other clubs. Forget results. We see the buy-in. We've never, I don't believe, I certainly haven't, ever seen a buy-in from the senior players and the collective group into Ten Hag. So forget the results for a second. We don't see the culture.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.